Alright, in this video I'm going to go over how I get radius points. I'm going to go over 3 different ways that you can do it. There may be more. I don't know yet of any other ones, but this is, I don't think. Not that I can think of, but I'm just going to go over so we'll go over the easiest one first. Okay, the easiest one is to use go to Kogo and create points and arcs, and you use your radius point function. Okay. Now some of these lines are going to actually be arcs. That's what you have to find an arc to get a radius point, and some of them aren't. So like for instance, if I click on any one of these down here, I'm not getting that option. But this one for some reason has actually arcs in it. And when I click on it, you'll see it segments out that piece and it gives you my radius point. Now what it does is it also shows you over here that that radius is 3 feet. So if I accept that, I now have a radius, a 3-foot radius. Now if I want to go to this one, that one's a 4-foot radius. Okay, we'll do that one. And then this one over here, that one's a 2-foot radius, and we'll do that one. Okay. Now we have our radius points for all those arcs. So that's the first and simplest way if that is available to you. If those lines are available as arcs, that's the easiest way. Okay, the second way, you're going to run into a situation like this maybe, where the line, there's no arc. This is not an arc. It's a continuous line all the way around, but this is all segmented out. But it looks, if you look at it, if you ignore the skew and you look straight across from that point to this point, it looks like a pretty good radius. So it looks like I could make a radius point based off of that curve there. Okay, and just for visualization purposes, I'm going to segment out these a little bit so you can see them. So we'll go to Kogo, create points and arcs, and we're going to use this function right here, endpoints, and we're going to, I'm going to segment these out a bit so it makes the points easier to see and capture here. Okay, so now I have all the points that I need to create my line and do my measurement to check it and see if it's right. Okay, so we'll accept those. It'll give us those points, and then we're going to go to line function, and we're just going to draw a line for our baseline here. Okay, once we accept that, then we can take that baseline, we can go into the midpoints function, select that same line, and it gives us our midpoint, which is, if you look at it, it's going to be our radius point. It should be pretty close. It looks pretty close. Okay, we'll accept that. And now to double check that, we're going to go back into Kogo, but we're going to go to review and edit data this time, and we're going to go to the distance between points, and I'm going to select our radius point here. Whoops, I don't know. Woo. Did I do that right? Let me just back that up, just in case I double selected something. I don't know what I did. So we're going to check from here to here, and you see it's 3936. We'll check a couple other points real quick. 3936. Check this one. 3936. And just to double check, we'll check this one. 3936. Okay, so you can see that that tells me that that's a good radius point. That's going to work all the way around. And that's how I would create my a radius point on a segment line. Okay, the other way you can do it, the third way, this one is a little bit different because when you're going to create an arc, you know, I said in the beginning, that first one, you have to use that one function, the line has to be an arc. Well, if there is no arc there, I'm going to use this one for example here. Okay, so here's a segmented line, and if we zoom into this, you'll see I had the same thing here, but I created that arc there. Okay, and I'm going to create another one for this one. Whoops, I hate when I use that sticky key. Okay, zoom out, get where we want to be here. So that's going to be our beginning point and our end point. Okay, and we're going to create a nice arc going around here. Now, when I create this arc, it's never going away. It's going to embed itself, and you'll never get rid of it. So just keep that in mind. If you do it this way, as far as I know, there's no way to get rid of it. I've tried for a couple hours messing around in the files and layers, and I haven't figured out a way to get rid of it. So if you use this function, just keep in mind that it's going to be on every work order that you open up once you put it in there. It won't affect anything though, or it shouldn't. Okay, so what we want to do is to create that arcs. You want to go to Kogo, create points and arcs, and it looks similar to the radius one. It's down here. And you're going to create an arc. Okay, so you have some options when you do this. You can either just click on the points or you can type the points in if you know the point names. In this case, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to select my beginning point here and my end point. I think that's pretty close. Notice one's green, one's blue. Okay, they're unnamed because that's just the way it is, I guess. Now I have some options. You can type in the radius if you know the radius, or you want to check it. You can click around. The other thing you can do is if you zoom in, I usually select on the midpoint of a line. That seems to be the most accurate, but we're only talking, I don't know, maybe a couple thousandths difference whether you click on a point or the midpoint of the line. But I've kind of checked the measurements on them, and for me it seems like the midpoint of the line, even though it cuts off these points, seems to be the most accurate. But you can click anywhere you want here, but I'm going to click right there and just cut off those points. And I'll zoom out here a little bit. I'll look at it. And it looks like it's pretty good there. So let me just zoom in on that to see if there's any kink. So it looks like it comes in nice and straight there. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Oh, sticky key, sticky key, sticky key. I hate those. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and accept that. It's calling it, and another thing too is you can look at this, you go, oh, it's 2.503. Well, chances are it's probably not 2.503, it's probably 2.5. So I'll just call it 2.5. And just to let it adjust before I accept it, just to make sure I didn't punch in something stupid, I'll click up here, let it kind of seat itself, and it'll adjust that arc right at 2.5. So I'm good with that. I'm going to call that what I want. I'm going to accept that. But now, like I said, that arc is never coming out of there. Okay. But now that I've done that, now I actually have an arc there. So I can go to create points and arcs. I can go up to my radius and I can click on the arc. And it'll give me my radius point. We'll accept that. We're going to call that point name radius 1. And we'll accept that. Okay. Switch over here, go to measure, point names, and you see I have radius 1 right there. Alright, well hopefully that helps. Like I said, those are the 3 ways that I know how to get radiuses. Maybe I'll figure something out in the future, a different way, I don't know. Just keep in mind, like I said, if you do that third option, that arc is never going away. Here's a circle I created. It's been there ever since I created it. Can't get rid of it. Alright. Have fun with that one and try out some different things, see what works best for you.